Breaking news. Obama is panicking after what the JFK files just revealed about him. Matthew DePerry reports. Back in October, the highly anticipated release of the infamous JFK files was finally released after many decades. It revealed 2,800 previously secret assassination records containing a treasure trove of shocking information. The information pointed out that Lee Harvey Oswald was working with the CIA to assassinate the President of the United States. The files also unexpectedly dragged Barack Obama into the spotlight as well. Unexpectedly, Obama was in there. Files have revealed troubling new information on his already shady and questionable past. Way back before anyone knew who Obama was, the future president was just a young, white-hating communist who kept company with many dangerous American-hating communists. One of his best buddies was Bill Ayers, the founder of the radical terror group Weather Underground. Bill Ayers is the man directly responsible for launching a campaign of bombings that would target the Pentagon and the United States Capitol. Now, while Obama was in office, he distanced himself from Ayers and did everything he could to keep the information away from the public. He dismissed his friendship with Ayers as a guy who, quote, lives in my neighborhood and somebody who worked on education issues in Chicago that I knew, unquote. Unfortunately for Obama, there are numerous old videos showing the two together, and you can find them on YouTube. Obama is scrambling to keep his legacy as president intact. However, with these latest information, his chances of maintaining his image is in jeopardy. Newly released files show there was an active investigation by both the CIA and FBI into Ayers, who continued to lead his domestic terrorists to bomb the U.S. and kill innocent civilians for years. Daily Wire reports. The Trump administration ordered the release of thousands of files on the JFK assassination on Thursday, which contained many startling revelations, including the fact that multiple high-level government agencies monitored former President Barack Obama's friend, domestic terrorist Bill Ayers. Newly released files show that the CIA and FBI kept an eye on Ayers, who was a member of leftist groups and a domestic terrorist organization, CBS News reported. An FBI document from the Bureau's director sent to the President, Vice President, Secretary of State, Secret Service, CIA, Air Force, Army, and the Attorney General said the following about Ayers. William Ayers, a student from a Democratic Society SDS leader, spoke at American University, Washington, D.C. On September 24th last, Ayers was preceded by a member of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, who stated that nonviolence was the means to overcome ills in the United States and who derided SDS for its approach to the problem. Ayers stated that the United States, quote-unquote, imperialist army cannot win against the People's Army, and that imperialism will be destroyed and that all people should participate in its destruction. He said that SDS will eventually be engaged in armed conflict against the United States. His speech ended abruptly due to heckling and ridicule from the audience, including the SCLC speaker. Connections between Obama and Ayers vary depending on the news source, but typically range from sporadic contact to a significant political and professional relationship between the two. Either way, there is, without a question, some level of connection between the two men. Ayers, who was at the time a member of the SDS, later became a leader of the Weather Underground, a leftist terror group that carried out bombings across the U.S., according to CBS News. The FBI also clearly states that the Weather Underground group was a domestic terror group. A piece from the New York Times documented Ayers participating in bombing U.S. government buildings. And now he's written a book titled Fugitive Days. This is by Beacon Press in September. Mr. Ayers, who is 56, calls it a memoir, somewhat coyly perhaps, since he also says some of it is fiction. He writes that he participated in the bombings of New York City Police Headquarters in 1970, of the Capitol Building in 71, and the Pentagon in 1972. But Mr. Ayers also seems to want to have it both ways, taking responsibility for daring acts in his youth and then deflecting it. Obama spent years fooling everybody and maintained his image through careful maneuvering. The American people are starting to understand that Obama is not the good guy. Can you imagine what would happen if it was discovered that Trump was friends with the terrorists who tried to blow up the Pentagon? There would be riots in the streets. This is from Freedom Daily and Daily Wire, and it's on Veterans AF.